Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric, and today we're going to make a quick bread. Now, we've already made a few yeast breads, and that's where obviously yeast is used to produce the carbon dioxide that adds that loft. And those rely a lot on the gluten in the flour and favor higher gluten contents to give a lighter loaf. Quick breads are different, and obviously by their very name, they're quick. They use, instead of yeast acting to produce that carbon dioxide, they use chemical leavening agents. So either baking powder or baking soda that produces that carbon dioxide gas and gives you that light, airy structure that you wouldn't get if you had unleavened bread and didn't have that type of leavening agent in there. So usually for a lot of my quick breads, and you can have savory quick breads and you can have sweet quick breads. For a lot of my sweet quick breads, and that would include muffins as well, I generally prefer to use whole barley flour. I find that it offers a different taste compared to the more robust taste of whole grain, whole wheat. But in this case, we're going to be making banana bread. And I find that more robust flavor offered by the whole wheat flour really complements the bananas, the sweetness of the bananas very, very nicely. So we've got 2 cups of whole wheat flour that we've ground on the Homestead grain mill. And if you want details on building that in your home, you can go to the EnduringTechnologyPress.com website. So we've got that. We've got some sugar, a little bit of sugar, and then we've got our baking soda in here. We mix this up. Again, I'm using the Danish whisk. As somebody with some Norwegian heritage, at least it's not Swedish, this works really well. My grandmother would be loath that the Swedes had actually come up with something that was this good. We've got our bananas, and these are the overripe bananas. And there's, I guess about 3 in here. What I like to do when I get them at the store, and they go on the discount rack, I like to pick them up, peel them, mash them up, and freeze them in muffin tins, and then just put them in a Ziploc. That way I can pull them out at any time and use them and take advantage of the sales. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're going to add an egg. And with the bananas, I took them out of the freezer and then I just nuked them to warm them up and thaw them. So we'll mix our liquid ingredients more or less in a little pool in the center. And then as we've got that more mixed, we'll mix in the flour that we've already mixed with the sugar and baking soda. We'll mix it up. We don't want to work this. It does have gluten in it. We don't want to work it so that we develop the gluten. We just want to mix it and incorporate it and develop the right consistency for a quick bread. And that's fairly runny. And because the consistency of our bananas can differ, you're going to add a little bit of water, more or less, depending on how much bananas you actually added. Again, your aim here is to get the consistency. And what you're looking for is something that's a little bit too thick still. Want something that you can pour out of your bowl. That'll just pour out of the bowl. Let's mix that water in. We've got our oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit. Okay. I started out doing civil engineering in a lot of concrete labs where I went Aggie. And so that's the sort of slump that I get out of a thick concrete. That's what you're looking for. So we've got the oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll cook for about 40-45 minutes. I really like the silicone because I don't have to grease anything. But what you're going to want to take note of is that sometimes the silicone, or quite often the silicone, takes longer to actually cook. So we've got that in there. When we've hit about the 45 minute mark, we're going to take this out. We're going to put a toothpick in the center and judge for dryness. If it comes out and there's nothing sticking to it, well, we can take it out, turn off the oven and let it cool down. If there's still material sticking to it, still batter, put it in for another 5 minutes, then evaluate again. So with that, we'll show you later on what we get out of the oven, and it'll be about 45 minutes from now. Okay, so this is the morning after the night before. The loaf of whole wheat banana bread came out of the oven. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and we're getting ready to make lunches today. One of the great things about this loaf and this recipe is that it produces a loaf that's rich. There's a little bit of sweetness from the bananas and the additional sugar, but it's not a dessert sweet bread. It's just a really nice loaf, and that banana really complements the whole grain and the whole wheat very nicely. So it makes a great way to mix up lunches. A couple slices of this, some nice sharp cheddar, and you've got a great alternative to the regular everyday sandwich. So for this recipe and lots more good stuff, go to enduringtechnologypress.com. Thanks.